Yo guys, we're gonna be reacting to the rank for Korean Challenger player in uh, top lane. He specifically plays vayn, right? Now the notable thing about him, he plays very aggressively. So one of his tendencies is he does actually quite often go for lethal tempo and deep lane. He doesn't go surf fleet, and that's what I advise people to don't perma go D shield on champs where you could go for deep lane. Just don't make it a habit if you're good enough at a champion that you perma go D shield, you perma go fleet, you perma go for defensive runes and items that are not even worth in your matchup. You just gotta be a bit better, mechanically quite often. So it does actually play Rua's Hurricane, which is quite interesting. It's weird because it doesn't really apply Swain's W, so I'm not sure what's the point in that. In fact, in this one, even Runauns did not help at all. Uh, in here, it did not help at all. It didn't bounce. So I'm not quite sure what was the point of Runau's Hurricane, honestly, because often people play in a way these days with so many dashes that you don't really get the AoE off. I don't quite get what's the point, but and as you guys can see, it does go for presence of mind for some mana, alacrity for attack speed, little tempo for attack speed, last stand for some extra DPS when you and your opponent is low. But generally, in very hard winning matchups, you can go Coup de Grace. Defensive scaling, of course, in free matchups or in matchups where you get to scale, conditioning, but I would recommend bomb plating in some other matchups. Overgrowth is also great, but I would recommend for beginners bomb plating. It does go HP scaling attacks with adaptive aiding. And the notable thing is he does rush boots as per usual. He does get calm in scaling matchups. You want to get it. I wouldn't say perm go for it because like Bork is a big spike. So I wouldn't really like overdo it, but probably into Malphite it wouldn't feel to be bad where you're mainly gonna scale. Uh, but basically he rushes mostly berserks into uh, Borg, but sometimes maybe even so a boots of swiftness could be considerable, right? Main players do actually get it, so he maxes Q into W into E, so it's not a W max. These days people don't W max anymore because Riot actually did nerf it at the time, so in these days it's just not that strong. He goes green, so into Runans and Dead Man's That's a weird build. I'm not sure, like, I don't know how to feel about Runans, but he's rank 4 on Vayne, so I mean, very good. He's rank 4 as a player. I mean, not specifically on the champion, but this there's like a unique level 1 setup, right? That's what some people have to watch out for. Like, look, so he invades level 1, not like other main players, and basically, most of the high elo players, just saying, they go quite often leashless. And so what he likes to do, he just likes to invade a little bit, walk back, because it's very important to deny ganks. So like one of the possible weaknesses of Vayne is getting ganked, because that they can be bad if you get caught by chance. You have some defensive tools, but getting ganked more than often just sucks. And so in here he also challenges the Yone a little bit, so he dodges his Q, he ghosts, dodges again another Q, and he just pokes as much as possible. Yes, the Q did go off, that felt to be a bit illegal, but it's an uncancelable wind up, so losing vision doesn't mean that the basic attack will be lost, but it looked a little bit illegal, to be honest. And now in here he walks back, of course, so he gave a false sense of security for Yon. And now, okay, Vayne is losing CS, but Yon is also losing CS, right? So it's more important for Yon to be behind with CS than for Vayne in this scenario, because notably Zac is also topside and will arrive way faster topside, right? That's the notable thing. As we can visually see, Zac is here on the Raptor camp, and Vi is on both sides, while notably her clear is delayed, just because Vayne invaded him, so Zac will be way faster on top lane, so trading in here HP for HP is great. Sometimes you're gonna get Qs, but again, she's gonna weave in some Qs, she's gonna weave in some autos, and generally speaking, it will be a winning trade. Leon needs another Q, and now Zac can very easily just kill him, Yon will try in here to probably just ward into him, of course, but then Zac just jumps on him. Sadly, Yon does get actually all in, and shit happens. Yon gets all in, and that's a very big setback. Now, probably Yon did. Wow, Yon went for a control ward. I just weird, but um, Even if the enemy top is leashing, by the way, you can totally do this because more than often, if they don't have like some insane chase or something, you can still step up and poke both of them. So not only one of them, but both of them. Wow, Aatrox still has Q up. Kinda random, I guess. Oh, I guess he didn't really... He rebuilt a little bit earlier than he should. Because then, like, Aatrox's Q would be in cooldown and he wouldn't lose, like... He wouldn't lose maybe 100 HP, but... Little bit of a mistake, you know, can happen, you know. Should have been delayed slightly more, but this should be fine. Now, they did lose some degree of HP, which is a bit of a problem, just because Aatrox does heal up with his D-Shield, but again, Aatrox lost so much CS, it's unreal, so this may not be the best trade as you guys can see. But he can even it out by being like really good at Vayne, you know, by all-inning this Aatrox, dropping vision by walking in the bush, of course, to drop aggro. And so he tends to buy... The hit on blue side is dangerous due to the bush and the red buff, yep. But it's not impossible, yep. It just can be a bit more risky. Okay, so it does actually like poke, trade. Hopefully K'Sante doesn't get the first blood. It's Jhin. You know, I like it when on top lane not my laner gets the first blood, because then it can be disgusting, you know. At least someone else gets it. And again, he does the same thing, you know, like he actually goes back to Brand Jungle and he invades him. He just kills the fella, he doesn't care, because knows for a reason like countering the enemy jungler is more important for now for Vayne than dealing with the top lane, because more than often, like even if K'Sante gets level 2, that does not allow him to do much. Just because like Vayne can kite him regardless of him having QW or EQ, whatever. It's just not likely that he can like mess with her, you know. Now in here again, like if Fiora tries to mess with this Vayne, but the issue again shows up that she gets kited out, she ghosts. And now she did ghost, but Fiora lost bunch of HP and that's totally worth, so you should definitely go for those level 1 kitings and basically just allow yourself to... Now in here it's a spacing check, ooh, really good Q, really good ghost. Space is the third Q, she spaced everything actually, she's almost full HP. And now she went for a lots of HP trade there, right? So that's definitely worth, because often at level 2 you don't even get better ghost opportunities, because then she has E as a dash and as a shield. She has her Qs as well as before, and it's harder to like stick to her and do the same thing, right? So that's the... that's a bit of a bummer, right? That can be a bit of a bummer. Now in here they do get dived, and Vayne's dive setup is by the way really good, because you generally tend to be level 3 when your opponent is 2. Then Abakindra did get a mark and she loses a lot of CS, right? She loses a lot of CS if she doesn't have TP. I'm not sure if she does. Hopefully she didn't. Apparently she didn't. She didn't TP. But you guys get my point. Now, since Vayne has terrible push, it's standard constantly yep. So she doesn't have the best push, so often it's like, you know, she punishes off bushes, even range champs, so she's gonna Q in and walk back into the bush. In these days the vision drops way faster, so you can actually Q, walk back a teensy bit and, you know, just outrate your opponent. Outro, like if, I don't know, if Varus is basic attacking correctly every time Vayne, that shouldn't happen for free non-stop, because basically his auto range is longer, but I guess Varus is not. Maybe Varus will be a bit better mechanically, but yep, so there's like a pattern like gate players have the headshot, they EQ, but now she gets ghosted on because why? Even though like Kate is level 3, right? And he has a big minion wave, it doesn't matter all that much because she's too low. Vayne got a good all-in angle right now, right? She has little tempo and all that. And the basic she wasted 3. So that should be a free all-in for Vayne. Her Q is coming, turns back for a Q. Flash, I guess. I mean, why do they play any top man? Does she play Cleanse? No, she plays Ghost even into any. I guess that's fine. It also allows her to like all in on any, right? And she just all insane because she knows her damage numbers, right? Like she knows that Annie has some upfront burst with electrocute, takes down like 30% of your HP, something like that, 30-40. But there she has no DPS, and Vayne does have DPS, right? So she doesn't fuzz up the same. You know, she couldn't really space Renekton's EW, but that's a bit of a problem if it doesn't matter, because she goes in and she rushes to the Renekton, of course, and because she has Ghost, she walks through minions, basic EQ, and the Renekton is sadly dead. She pulls a little bit the wave as well, if you guys noticed. So the wave pushes back. And even with range matchups, he does not go fleet. So don't overdo perma fleet because I don't know how to play the game. No. Don't overdo fleet non-stop because as you can see, the rank 4 player perma goes fleet all tempo. He does the opposite thing that people do in EU. In my experience, even when there is no reason for it, vayn players are perma overdoing fleet. Like just be better at using E, be better at sidestepping, be better at like using Q. Like it's not like you're gonna lose DPS. Lead to tempo is so good on vayn. The extra range, the extra attack speed used to be so good. It's just like a lot of people just choose comfort on. Doesn't he like W's it? So Darius is not bad so far. Played really well around. Oh, but Edward was a bit dog. 3 empty word. So the vayn buys 2 control wards for complete vision control. So she buys 1 ward for combat as well, by the way, if you guys didn't know. It's not like that's a problem with Darius. If vayn plays well, it's like it's hard to get close, you know. Because she buys boots as well, she's smart enough. And she go look how well she controls vision. Is she gonna E maybe? And look, she outplayed him because of the control wards. Although it costed 150. In total, it allowed her to get a kill, so for 150 wouldn't you get a kill plus vision? Now, it was a bit, but didn't he like a bit too early? Maybe he was replacing it a bit too early, but I guess it should be fine, because it would be a basic W. It should be fine. But if you think about it, like, wouldn't 2 control wards be worth to, like, allow yourself to get a smooth kill, you know? Probably it is, right? If you think about it, because more than often the issue is you lose vision, and it's harder to all in, but now you don't. Look how well she plays. Again, she uses her E to dodge the Darius Q even so. And he kills the Darius because he runs 1 or 2 control wards, and that, I mean, that's just great because like bushes are not even a safe place anymore. Which becomes extremely problematic if you think about it, because if you don't have that safety, then that just sucks some dick as a melee champ. But usually like most of the vayn players in solo queue are not that smart to go 1 or 2 control wards, so you shouldn't worry too much about this. And really good wall queue, so that's what like most of the vayn players don't do. But definitely like if you get the opportunity, not always because it's a wide lane as we can see, you don't always get the opportunity to wall queue. But whenever you get to just do it, it's a small animation cancel allows you to basic attack a little bit faster. Look at the wall, look at her Q, right? It just makes her Q way faster, you see? That was instant, man. That was instant. That's a really important trick to do. But more so when you get wall angles, you know, it's not something you perma do. But because people rarely have the opportunity to do it, people don't do it at all, actually. People just don't do it at all. Oh, yeah, that's bad. I mean, Cassante has no chance usually into vayn. With Ice One, it's a bit easier, but it's still just vayn, so it's annoying, right? It's a Ezreal top tier. Or they play all sorts of champions in Korea, I swear. Not like, I don't even say Ezreal is that bad on top, I mean, but... I tried it, you know, after buffs. I would say it's not that awful. But it does tend to go actually Bork all the time, noticeably. And it does go for some Immortis game, maybe a Trinity Force, as it looks like. He does just dive in, he doesn't care, you know, he has a massive lead, and while looking to pick up side laners, goes to Q, yep. He basically uses everything, huh? Like, he has to commit because he needs that mobility, right? Really good, he stuns the guy, you know. Yep. That legendary one doesn't stand the chance, since it instantly gap closes with cells, the enemy with no abilities, powerless, yep. Because the issue is if you play like smaller top lane, the issue is it's very too mobile for you, so you just kinda get fucked, to be honest. But I feel like even if you hit your abilities, some of them, it's just never gonna be enough into like a vayn that just all-ins you whenever she wants to, you know? How the guy has 0 MS in Korea, or probably just like a replay thing. So it does actually go into Runa's. This is his favorite build. I'm not sure how to feel about Runa's. I mean, I feel like there is Phantom as well for mobility, but I think it's just kinda random, because like often like I'm not sure. Like in here, if he would have hypothetically runouts, it's in here he would AoE, but in here like he doesn't always AoE. In here he wouldn't AoE. You know, like it's just kind of random to all the time go for it because people won't always play in a way that you're gonna get AoE value from it. So it really depends on the early comp. But I would say it's not the most fitting thing. I mean, you can just get Kraken or something else. You know, like Kraken is so OP the late game. It actually provides you like 620 damage, and now Guinso also synergizes with Kraken. Like in at level 18 as an example, it gives you 620 damage on the second rotation of Kraken. So I don't know why would you go Runans over Kraken or over Phantom. To be honest, I don't really see the reason behind that, but that's something that makes me question it. And that mass is good for mobility, for armor. I don't say it's necessarily bad, but some of them do go randoms into like double crit comps, as I noticed as well. I don't say it's like necessarily bad, you know, to go that mess. But I feel like Rudance is not really, I don't know. Like often it doesn't do all that much damage, you know, the split that damage, because you're gonna split it Rudance and I think a little bit the Guinso, but I guess like it synergizes with Guinso Rudance a little bit, but I'm not sure honestly what to tell you guys. Like she has own hits, but I just like Rudance always banned that weird item, you know. Especially how much you're gonna side lane and 1v1 people, like, I would say if you're perma side laning, well, probably you won't perma side lane as Vayne, often you want to team fight, but if you want to just side lane mainly, then it's like, probably shouldn't get runouts, but maybe the Vayne player has like an explanation of like runouts. I don't personally get it, and I wouldn't necessarily judge it to be absolutely awful, because she does have one hit, you know, she does have some things. So counters Nasus Malphite team up plus champ select. No, usually Malphite is a simpler one. Nasus, he kinda gets bullied, but he has a point and click W to set up some gangs, so he's not that awful. Teemo can be fine, I mean, but generally range tops, some range tops like Lucian whatnot, or just some other type of champions that can like all in her. But you see, like many champs that can all in her can be outplayed, even so like champs like Irelia that have target access. So it's not always the best choice. So even with champs that take skill, it's flippy to fight her, so generally you can just take tanks and scale into her, or just like counter picks ideally. But like you know, if Vayne is this good, then it's kind of hard to deal with a reader bait. That's the thing. Maybe switch with mid lane if you can. But that's it for now, guys. Have a nice day.